What's going on, Aries? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of July 2025. So in this reading, Aries, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more for you regarding the month of July 2024. So before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, and I really do appreciate you in advance, Aries, for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here, Aries, especially because the last reading I did for you got basically censored or canceled. So yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna pull the energy and we'll see what's coming your way, Aries, for the month of July 2025. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Aries. I'm not going to take these, but I'm going to keep them in mind. Yep. All right, Aries, let's go ahead and see what's going on for you in the month of July 2025. Wow, good stuff coming to you, Aries, for the month of 2025. I think that there's a situation developing that you don't see coming yet that feels very divinely protected and abundant, a type of relationship that's coming to you. You may not even know what to do with it by the end of the month because of the level of commitment that you actually want to go forward with, but there's something that could be blocking this. So before we get into the reading, let's go ahead and start this with some pre-shuffled oracle cards, which contain the energy that you need more of for the month of July 2025. So the first energy that you need more of here, that the universe wants you to really embody and be in, is kindred soul. Okay, and this shows that you are lining up with a counterpoint or a counterpart soul this month for a lot of you, especially if you're a single Aries or you're open to new love at this time. There's definitely something about a new love coming in, and it's this is the energy that you actually need more of. So if you've been feeling like you've been wanting to change up your relationships, or you've been looking for someone that is gonna, it's coming through as you're gonna meet someone here, and the energy that would be aligned for you, Aries, is that you're gonna meet someone with similar values, ways of viewing the world, and overall frequency. I have a very calm, I have an uncanny calm feeling around me as I started shuffling the cards. So, and it almost is like the feeling after a big release. So that's part of this as well, Aries, where there can be certain challenges with the rite of passage in terms of certain key relationships that you may have to let go of in order to make room for this. Now, for some of you, you could even be in the position where you're with someone and you meet someone new, or something takes off with someone new and you're still in a relationship, and that obviously makes things very complicated. And for many of you, I actually do feel like that's what's going to happen. And don't shoot the messenger, right? Please. But that's what I feel. So you also have the energy of nurture. So, this is pretty self-explanatory, where you need to nurture yourself in a way that makes you feel calm, good. And I feel like especially with relationships, you have kindred soul and nurture, right? I feel like there's a relationship coming into your life that it's going to make you very aware that you were not experiencing nurture in the past. Okay, so whether you're single or you're looking for new love, this is something. And if you're in a relationship and you get mad at me for saying these things and you're not feeling nurtured, well, that's why, because this is the energy that's accurate, right? So if someone is not like going out of their way to make you feel good in a relationship, even if that's just being kind, even if that's going out of their way to do something, then you're not really in a relation. You're in a bad relationship, is really what I'll say. So kindred soul and nurture, it's going to feel very dreamy, and it will, for some of you, it will feel like a certain level of prophecy is basically coming on board here, a certain level of prophecy. All right, so now the next energy, and this plays into things big time, is also nostalgia. So on the one hand, I feel that for many of you, this is going to be a relationship that you already potentially know. For some of you, this is going to be someone that you already potentially know that's going to take off again. Okay, so this is a relationship that's going to come full circle, that's going to actually take off, even if it hasn't yet. And that seems good. Now, in the same time, nostalgia is all about, the good old days, right? Like the happy days in the past. And I feel like from a certain level, there's a certain level of over-idealization that you're giving credence to in terms of a person or in the form of a person that is really holding you back at this time. Your challenge is the Four of Wands. And for me, that's the card of, traditionally this is the card of marriage and ceremonies and celebrations, but I'm seeing it more of as like a rite of passage that definitely plays into this nostalgia card, Aries. So the Four of Wands and then the nostalgia card here, there's definitely something coming through about a certain rite of passage that if you continue to stay stuck in it, you'll be floundering in a situation that basically is being seen as unconditional, or like people are doing their best to have unconditional love, but it's not really that at all. And this new person coming in for most of you is going to realize, like, it's going to make you realize that. So now let's go ahead and get into the tarot reading. So your opportunity is actually the Hierophant here, and this has to do with traditional forms of coming together. It could have to do with some sort of new job opportunity for some of you that feels more official than it ever has. Now, the Hierophant also has to do with basically the bridge between the heavens and the earth in some sort of way that may involve government or religion, but it's really the card of marriage. And what's interesting is, like, it feels to me like you're having a spiritual divorce in July 2025. A spiritual divorce, Aries, because your challenge and your opportunity, both of these cards are the marriage cards in the tarot. So some of you, there's going to be like this feeling of, as soon as you let something go, and it could be in the very beginning of July where it officially gets let go. That's the advice, is to completely say goodbye to something so you can say hello to unconditional love. It's interesting that the opportunity and the challenge would both have to do with marriage. So, and it seems like your opportunity is much more of an official one. This is a major arcana having to do with the soul's progression. This is like you met someone in, a store and you ended up marrying them, even though it was never really, it was just filling time. Or, you know what? I'm being too harsh. But that's really, now here's the thing. In your overall general energy, Aries, you have the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and also the High Priestess when it comes to your overall general energy for the month of July. And I really like this. I feel like there's going to be a lot of kindred relationships that feel very dreamy. Now, for some of you, this is going to be career. I sense that for some of you, Aries, there's someone from your past that you're actually going to be able to nurture the relationship and start working with them in an official way. Now, this can be someone that from your past, and for some of you it's going to go way back. For some of you it's not going to go that far back. But in a career sense, for the month of July, there's definitely something here about rekindling something that was always meant to help you go forward. Like in 2025, you have to resource people. And because everyone that you know, everyone that resides in your consciousness that you've physically been with, or even not, but those people, they are a resource. And I mean that on a spiritual level, that if you understood what they did for you would blow your mind. So there's going to be a lot of nostalgia and nurturing relationships from your past. But it's actually a splitting of the ones that are right for you and the ones that are not right for you. So for some of you, I get actually this could bring certain levels of confusion to your social group, to your peer group, in a certain way. Like the energy is like if you go to like the past or something, it's just gonna feel so you're gonna be like, I should have poured into this person in my past more, or maybe it was all meant to happen this way. But anyway, there's a lot of good kindred souls, a lot of romance in the air, dreaminess and idealism, and then intuition is on point. Now the one thing that I get here is that I feel like this relationship that's opening up is going to be going so great and well and awesome by the end of July that there's going to be question marks about this, okay? Because there's going to be so much potential, and both parties will be able to feel this potential. So for some of you, not even having to do with your past, the challenge may be actually to kind of speed through a rite of passage with this person, because as the sign of Aries, you're all about speed, you're all about impulsiveness, and I do feel like there's a quality of impulsiveness that will assist you in locking in and maintaining relationships that are actually meant for you. Okay? That's what I feel. But at the same time, there's going to be some sort of lingering energy. So in what you don't see coming, you have the Chariot, the Nine of Pentacles, and also the Seven of Cups in what you don't see coming. So this is all about divine protection, abundance, independence, and also a major emotional decision that you need to make, filtering through illusion and disillusionment. Okay, I feel like for many of you, you'll be tempted to stay single in the month of July. This is in what you don't see coming. You're going to be really weighing back and forth the options of, do I stay single? Do I not stay single? For a lot of you, the difficulty of this reading is that you never want to be that person who's like, or, everyone's different. And sometimes I could see this as a bullshit statement, but it's like the person who is always jumping from relationship to relationship, right? Like, I'm never not in a relationship. People may accuse you of being that in this month if you actually go with what Spirit is trying to tell you to do. But I think that it's a choice that ultimately you have to make. But we're going to clarify to get more information. In your advice, you have the Two of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and also the Sun card when it comes to your advice from Spirit for July 2025. So the first thing coming through, I get, Aries, is definitely a certain rite of passage relationship that is not nurturing, I think needs to leave your life at this time. There's something here about the true measure of relationship is not about how long you've been in a relationship. That should not be the standard of, oh my God, I've been in a relationship for so long, therefore it must be great. It could just really enable negative patterns, like extremely negative patterns. And I feel like for a lot of you in your love life, if you are with someone and it's not going well for you, then this is the time to realize that you're not being nurtured. And that's what the advice is. It's clear as the sky without any clouds. It's saying, hey, Aries, the clarity here is that you're sticking around something that you're not being nurtured by or with. Now, for some of you, that's going to be romantic. For others of you, that's going to be business, friendship, family stuff. Okay, that's going to be what in various categories. I feel you have to use your intuition here, Aries. But the main thing that I get is, number one, there may be a refusal to let go of someone because of the resources that you do get from them. But I feel like it's in some sort of weird roundabout way instead of a direct way. I think that there's a spiritual tie that you have to someone, which is why the Four of Wands is here in your challenge. I think there is a spiritual bond that actually does. I think that it benefits the other person more than it does you. So I think the question is to help or not to help. But the funny thing is that if you dared to say that, it probably wouldn't go over well if you dared to say that. If you dared to say, like, because we don't, it's not, that's not a good conversation to have. I help you more spiritually, and I don't mean giving practical advice sitting down like a Tony Robbins interview. I mean spiritually. Okay? So let's just go ahead and start clarifying this reading. Let's clarify why that Four of Wands is in your challenge, Aries, for the month of July. You have the Four of Swords, Five of Swords, and the Hermit. Yeah, so this is a zero-sum game energy that is being played in your relationship. There could even be a certain level of attachment and commitment to an abusive situation for some of you. You know, and I feel for a lot of you, there's a situation that kind of brings out the worst in you. That because it brings out the worst in you, it allows someone to label you as something that you're not, and you've got accustomed to staying with that. Now, the Four of Swords is also about security on the mental level. So I think that it's like the hell that you know is better than the hell that you don't know, or the heaven that you don't know, right? It's not. It's definitely not. So there's a situation here where it's kind of you're committed to a situation, and you see the Five of Swords is just kind of like ready to hack at this Hermit. The Hermit has to do with Virgo energy, but it also has to. It's less coming through as Virgo, and it's more coming through. It could have to do with that Virgo energy for some reason. For a lot of you, tune into it, but it feels like it's, you know. And look, for some of you, the level of security that you think that you have is fantasy land. It's candy land. You know, for a lot of you Aries out there, you know who this person is. This could be in multiple levels. This can be in a romantic relationship, friendship. You know, for many of you, this could even be in multiple fronts, but you'll know who it is. Tune into your intuition. There's someone here, Aries, that your challenge is that it brings you mental, and even you could have great sexual energy in the relationship. You could have great camaraderie. You could have security, but I actually think that there's a high chance of like potential betrayal in this relation. And the thing is that someone, in order for you to pull out of the energy that you've been enmeshed in for so long, there could be like an element of betrayal that other people accuse you of doing. Okay, now for a lot of you, this is even more deep than you know, but that's what I get. So yeah, someone could just be waiting to kind of like, for you to pull out of it to do something. Let's clarify why the Hierophant is in your opportunity. Yeah, there's definitely, now for some of you, this is definitely someone from your past that you may have thought you'll never talk to them again. And for some of you, this has to do with unfinished business with someone that you had a lot of have a lot of potential with. And for some of you, it could be an earth sign. Doesn't have to be. Let's clarify the Hierophant. Why is the Hierophant here? Yeah, the Two of Cups. You have the Two of Cups coming out twice in this reading, Aries. So it's in your opportunity. It's also in the beginning of July. This may happen in the beginning of July for you, I feel. And you also have the Lovers and the Page of Pentacles. You also have the Fool. So yeah, this is a lot of great energy here, Aries. You know, the Two of Cups, the Fool, and also the Lovers. This is a new beginning with a soulmate. You know, this is the bond on the spiritual level. This is the bond on the physical level. So that's the thing. This person coming in there is a strong bond both spiritually and physically if it's a romantic thing. And even if it's not a romantic thing, there's this like, there could be a bond that you have with this individual that is just like, this is my people, this is my person. And then you have the Page of Cups as well, which is all about kind of your opportunity. You know, for some of you, you've had a history with this individual that may have had shades of Page of Cups energy, and for some of you, that's being reactivated in a positive way this time potentially. And for a lot of you, this is a relationship to explore yourself, I feel. The Page of Cups is someone who doesn't really know who they fully are. They're kind of an open book. They're very gullible. And so I feel like, but that's what I think the universe wants you to be, open. And your opportunity as the Fool is what? Is to be open. Is to not know. I think a lot of you think that you know how your life should be going. And for a lot of you, that's going to change here. It's going to be divine intervention in what you don't see coming, especially related to because for a lot of you, you're in a relationship, but in your head, you're single. You're in a relationship, but in your head, you are not it's not, if you're thinking about that, it's not the thing that you need to be with. So that's really, there's a lot of, and this could be multiple, this could be a whole new set of people coming into your life. I mean, let's clarify that Two of Cups. This could happen in the beginning of July, leading up to the beginning of July. Do you have the Page of Swords? Okay, so this could be people trying to get information or talking or seeing, planning something. That's interesting. You also have the Seven of Swords, the Devil, and also the Hanged Man. And this is about the beginning of July. Now, keep in mind, I told you that if you're tied to something and then in the beginning of July, you have this Two of Swords here. And there's definitely something about the fear of betrayal or abandonment. You have the Devil, the Seven of Swords, and the Hanged Man. I feel like for many of you, this is about exiting a toxic relationship and surrendering to life and the universe. Okay? You see how the Seven of Swords is kind of taking the swords out of hell and bringing it into a suspended state. Now, that suspended state is going to open up a lot of things for you. So be open to experience here, Aries. Now, a lot of you are going to realize that, once you let this energy go, it could be even a somewhat abusive type of energy in terms of staying committed to a toxic situation. You're gonna open the floodgates to your abundance, especially on a relational level here, Aries. And it's gonna, there's a situation that something that was even meant to be or you planned before incarnating opens up for you. But it's first, you're gonna have to purge a toxic, there is someone or some frequency that's very toxic that is gonna go away in the beginning of July. I really feel that. Let's clarify why the High Priestess is here in the later part of the month. Yeah, the door is definitely closing. You have the Ten of Swords. The High Priestess is clarified by the Ten of Swords. So I feel like there's a certain relationship here that's been lingering for a long time, that's basically been putting you in this competition energy that's going to be completely gone. There could be someone trying to compete with you in business or in a certain situation that it's like, how did you let that happen? How did you, you thought we were rivals? No. You know what I mean? No. So yeah, it's just like some sort of illusion. You're breaking through that, but it may have to, I don't know, some of you are going to get pricked by the porcupine here, so to speak. What? Okay. Someone could try to stir up confusion and emotional turmoil in your life because this isn't what you don't see coming, Aries. And then out of the same deck here, we have a duplicate energy, which is the Seven of Cups and also the Nine of Pentacles here. Now, because some of you are just going to be so focused on your work and focused on your business contacts that love, you may have to decide whether you want that to take a backseat or not. But it's also spinning out reversed now. So it's like you're going to be moving on to bigger and better problems. There's going to be a situation where you're single, but you're moving forward with someone in love, and the only question that you have is whether or not we're going to fully commit or not right now. And then this demon from your past basically just pops up and reverses the energy because they can do that weird ass stuff. So you have to keep your intuition on point right now, Aries. That's weird that would come out as a duplicate. Let's clarify the Chariot. Not funny. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles. You have divine protection to move forward on a new project. The Queen of Pentacles, I did say Earth sign. the Knight of Pentacles and the Death card. So you have all this earthy energy. You could be connecting with someone who's going to nurture you in the physical world, whether this is business or in love, Aries. I definitely feel like there's a strong sense of you being grounded in reality with someone. Because I feel like someone has created their own reality about who you really are. And like kind of you're just pure Aries. I will commit to you despite all the red flags. The fact that maybe you've called them out or something goes wrong or something happens, your challenge is that you, like someone, you may go from like having a camaraderie situation to like the biggest hater ever. So I think that the best advice is to just fully set a boundary and go your new way. For a lot of you, this could have to do with the earth sign. And there's a lot of unconditional love that you have for this situation. But let's clarify why the Two of Swords is in your advice. Someone could have had the Temperance card. No balance. Or it's not, I feel like stop trying to be nice about it. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, you have to moderate your life, but not by being moderate with someone, I feel. You also have the Death card here that wanted to come out before. Transformation, rebirth, Scorpio energy. Let's clarify that Queen of Cups and the Sun. Yep, this is the Nine of Wands, the Justice card, and also the Ace of Cups. So this is unfinished business that the universe is stepping in with divine intervention here. The universe is definitely stepping in with divine intervention, but you still have to take the steps, Aries. So this is, the advice is new love having to do with, and when I say unfinished business, this may be just healing yourself. For a lot of you, this is going to be unfinished business on your own journey that someone comes in and just perfectly fits for you to heal from your trauma. Because there's a lot of trauma that you're tied to, and quite frankly, I think that that this is your stuff and not mine. For a lot, you have your own stuff, do not get me wrong, but the only reason that you're in this relationship is because there's some sort of misalignment with yourself that now this person is reflecting. So I feel like there's a much better situation on its way to you in July related to a kindred soul nurturing and even nostalgia. So get ready for that, Aries. I will talk to you later.